and they need to seriously address it in their league, but they're too scared. I'm going to keep it real here. But yet this owner, Adam Silver and Kathy Engelberg, they got an issue. They do.
Did you know that CaitlinClark's debut game drew 1.6 million viewers, more than some NBA games? But here's the surprising part. The WNBA appears to be downplaying her impact. The owners of the Atlanta Dream suggest that racial bias may be a factor.
This owner of the Atlanta Dream, by the way, they moved games when they played in Atlanta for CaitlinClark and for the attendance there. If they call Indiana Fever fans toxic or Iowa fans toxic, that means they're calling CaitlinClark fans toxic. Just to let you know, they did not do that for AngelReese or any other player in the league that came through.
Is he right? Let's dive into the numbers and compare CaitlinClark's stats to those of other rookies to see what's really happening. The truth might surprise you. What's remarkable is how Clark has seemingly turned the WNBA upside down. The numbers are louder than the cheers of fans in the arena. Remember the days when WNBA games weren't exactly sold-out events? Now, it's as if a switch has been flipped. Fans are packed into arenas, elbowing and jostling for seats, all because Clark is on the court. This isn't hype, it's real. And it's not just about attendance. TV ratings are skyrocketing, sending 4th of July level fireworks across the airwaves. Executives are stunned by these record-breaking figures. People just can't get enough of Clark's performance. It's more than basketball. It's a cultural moment. And things only get wilder from here.
Cannot be a representation of what the WNBA would want in their league. This is our league. This was built, I feel like, as a women's basketball historian myself, I've been watching since I was 5. I was here before the league started, as a lot of the fans on social media feel the same. That ain't a representation of us. Y'all not like us. They not like us, okay?
Some WNBA heavy hitters seem to be pretending the Clark effect doesn't exist. But is that really true? Selling out arenas and setting record-breaking TV ratings are hard to ignore. The owner of the Atlanta Dream tried to suggest that CaitlinClark and AngelReese had a similar impact, but the numbers tell a very different story. Clark's games are selling out like hotcakes on a Sunday morning. Now, this isn't to diminish Reese, but the stats clearly show a different level of influence. Here's something even more striking. Before Clark ever stepped onto the court, the Dream had already moved some of their games to larger venues. Was Reese the only rookie to prompt such a move? Absolutely not. That's the level of impact Clark is having. She's forcing teams to rethink their entire approach, not just fill seats. It's as if Clark hit the turbo button the moment she entered the league. The pace of change is accelerating, the scale is growing, and more people are paying attention.
A die-hard Celtics fan could hate the Lakers. And you know what? If we being honest, that Celtics fan base has definitely gone too far with some of their racist remarks and their treatments of players. It's not okay. A die-hard Tennessee Vols fan could have hated our UConn Huskies, but they would have been going way too far if they sent death threats to the UConn players. And that's what they've done. That's what Caitlin stands have done.
Still, some people want you to believe everything is normal. But really, when was the last time an inexperienced player made such a dramatic entrance? So, why does CaitlinClark seem to unsettle some WNBA heavy hitters? She's blazing a trail through the league like a supernova, and yet there's resistance. Let's take off our blinders and ask the uncomfortable question. Is there more going on beneath the surface? Clark's rise has supporters absolutely buzzing, but some players appear to be downplaying her impact, almost as if they're embarrassed that one player could shift the league so dramatically. And it's not just fans noticing. Commentators and analysts alike are struggling to make sense of what's happening.
There are brawls that break out from fans fighting with one another because that's how much they hate each other. I'm sorry, this also makes me think of sports betting. When people start sports betting on the WNBA like they do with the NFL.
Come on now, that's not acceptable. I mean, honestly, imagine if one of the stands said the things that they were saying. What if they said it to your daughter, your wife, your cousin, your sister? Folks might be ready to fight. Okay.
The more that WNBA players, coaches, owners continue to talk about it, and I actually just saw a video today that was actually sad. It was 2 Chicago Sky players, and they got very emotional when they were talking about the kind of hate that they've received online.
Here's something striking. The term racial bias has been brought up, but let's be honest. Would this argument even exist if CaitlinClark were a different race? As one supporter pointed out, if Clark were black, you'd never hear another player's name brought up in comparison. That's intense. Some make it sound as though the only reason Clark's influence is being downplayed is her race, but that's not the case. The reality is simple. It's all about talent and impact, not color.
This is going to literally do nothing. People who want to troll, people who want to hate, people who want to be racist, people who want to get a reaction out of you are not going to stop because you said, hey, stop doing this. They're going to...
A diehard Falcons fan can hate the Saints, but they would be going a little bit too far if they created nude AI pictures of Saints players and then sent them to the Saints players' families. That's what Caitlin stans have done to AngelReese. Has definitely gone too far with some of their racist remarks and their treatments of players. It's not okay. It's okay to be a hater in sports. Like, hating in sports is a part of the game. Like, I like when our fans are so engaged and so passionate that they just don't like the other team.
Both of those qualities, talent and impact, are undeniably present in CaitlinClark. The numbers speak for themselves. Sky-high TV ratings and sold-out arenas aren't hypothetical. They're real, and they have a tangible effect on the league. What's truly baffling is the attempt by some to lump AngelReese and Clark together. The data simply doesn't back that up. One fan summed it up perfectly, saying it's frustrating to see a narrative push that Reese has had the same level of league-wide impact as Clark. To be clear, this isn't meant to diminish Reese. She is undeniably talented. But impact is a different conversation, and the comparison falls short. Ask yourself this. If Reese were having the same influence as Clark, wouldn't her games be drawing massive viewership and packed arenas as well? That just isn't happening, and that's the reality. So why are some high-ranking WNBA officials acting as if nothing has changed? To many observers, it feels like they're living in an alternate universe. As one source bluntly put it, fans are being gaslit. Some WNBA officials are blatantly misleading fans to maintain a narrative, and in doing so, they may be harming the league itself. Instead of embracing the energy and attention CaitlinClark brings, they seem intent on sticking to their story. It's peculiar. Rather than celebrating a player's unprecedented popularity, some appear determined to downplay her impact, almost as if they fear change or novelty. Yet the facts remain. Clark is reshaping the league. No amount of spin can fool the audience. They see the truth. Every night, she makes headlines, sells out arenas, and dominates television ratings. And still, some prefer to ignore or minimize the Clark effect rather than fully embrace it. It's astonishing. When was the last time a rookie made such a dramatic entrance? Meanwhile, the WNBA is acting as if the arrival of their new superstar is inconsequential, despite sitting on what could be a gold mine. Experts argue that for the league to continue growing, it needs to actively promote players like Clark. But some influential figures seem more focused on minimizing her influence, almost as if they're afraid of the success she brings. Passing up the CaitlinClark phenomenon could be a monumental mistake for the WNBA, as it risks missing a rare opportunity to capitalize on one of the most electrifying arrivals the league has ever seen.